Hey Capricorn, Riverica here, reporting for duty on a trigger. Thank you so much for shuffling states of emergency into adoption spirit magic with me and steering clear of danger. Heartily, we are grateful. In this session, we are exploring an obstacle you have been facing and how you may turn that into a building block. But first, some disclaimers. I am not a doctor, lawyer, therapist. I'm a fortune teller. So what I offer is no substitute for their services. Furthermore, what I share does not determine your future. Only your intentions and actions do. So please use your gifts of discernment before deciding what to gather and take away. And of course, please take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting into beauty. This reading is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our mind, body, heart, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none, and at the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for helping me clear the space with this bell and for holding the intention of seeing only love. And only love we shall see. Here we go. Are you ready? Yes, we are ready. Mind, body, speech, in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. My hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Peace, Shanti. Thank you so much, Capricorn. And Thich Nhat Hanh's bell mantra. I'll leave those in the description details, and as well as about these decks and crystals. This is the, I'll leave those in my description in the video. I apologize if I was not clear the first time I tried to say that. This is the Souls on Fire deck by Mary Jo Cranmore and illustrated by Juliet Gilden that you may appreciate. That is here to assist us in seeing that obstacle that we've been facing, Capricorn. Perhaps you know it, perhaps you sort of know it, perhaps you have a hunch, perhaps you need affirmation. So this deck is going to assist us with that. And that is the Souls on Fire, again by Mary Jo Cranmore and Juliet Gilden. And that is the rose quartz on top. And then here we have Azurite and the, pardon me, Tree Angel Oracle by Fred Hageneater and illustrated by Hang to help us understand how we may turn this obstacle into a building block. So this is super exciting. Thank you so much for joining us, to be so brave as to join us to explore these things. Capricorn, you are a whole, full, powerful, loving, spiritual being, and so am I. And we thank your source, spirit, team, angels, galaxy guides, ancestors, saints, sages, gods, goddesses. Universe is here for the highest love and light as well as mine, and we thank your source and my source for immediately shifting the situation into what it needs to be, offering necessary insights, healings, acts of grace, protection. Heartily, we are grateful. And so it was, and so it was, and so it was, and so it was. Thank you. Thank you for making it abundantly clear for Capricorn about this obstacle they are facing. Oh my, how interesting. We have 9 of Cups on the bottom, wishes fulfilled, you know. And the 10 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. How interesting. How interesting. You know, those times when we think the situation is the 10 of Cups, it's the ultimate healing. And then we discover it's not. For example, adoption, right? We've been told it's for the best. It's really not, it's just different. And so then our perception of what is 10 of Cups, what is 9 of Cups, changes. What our thought healing is, it changes. And instead of adoption being this prescription for the adoptive parent or the birth parent to overcome their loss, more than about the orphan or adoptee that's getting adopted, pardon me, we end up shifting our perception what that 10 of Cups is. And perhaps this is what some of the dismantling and rebuilding has been about, right? In all the different ways that happens, it could be the adoption fairy tales that's being dismantled, the gypsy myths, the patriarchy, the matriarchy. You fill in the blank. There's dismantling across fields around planet Earth, and that means what we were taught or told or forced to believe was success really wasn't, and what that healing was really wasn't. And so we're now able to negotiate a new way and create new rainbows. But let me not get ahead of myself. We can see what the Tree Angel Oracle has to say about. I guess I want to pause just a step longer and just offer you hugs, Capricorn, for all of that, for what you have experienced in transitioning from believing that all your dreams have come true to realizing, wow, no, and changing your entire way of being. That is so courageous and so brave, and I know it was a whole series set. I don't even know. It had its challenges. I don't want to minimize that or glorify that, but just to honor that, right? And to give you hugs and help you hold your space and just honor the work that you have done to get to where you are, to go through all of that. So let's see what the Tree Angel Oracle has to share about how you may be assisted in transforming this obstacle into a building block. Thank you for making it abundantly clear for Capricorn. We're so grateful. Wowzy, wow. So we have the beach on the bottom. If you've been called to some other reading or you're interested in checking your other aspects, that beach is reminding me to tell you there. The 26, the 2, the 6, the 8. You may be interested in exploring that numerology as well to assist you on your healing path if that is jumping out at you. And here we have the pair, the 31, 3, number of optimism, ends chaos, brings a beginning and an end together. Helps with these boundary and issues, like when people are so grief-struck by loss that they invade your boundaries, either emotionally, verbally, psychically, physically. Some people have learned to call that evil, but in my experience, I have seen at the root that is loss. And so the 3 protects us in those instances of people being so grief-struck by loss that they're lashing out in those different ways that happens. Oh, mind, body, speech, and perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. My hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Peace. Shanti, thank you so much. I love Thich Nhat Hanh, his bell mantra, saying it with any type of bell that I hear, like the horn of a passing car. Offering us a chance to just honor what is in all the different ways. So the pear, oh my God, I love pears. With caramel, yum. When I used to be able to take those items you know, our bodies change. Everybody's a different psychosocial science experiment. So I invite you to explore some more of the numerology to see what resonates with you to help make this reading more meaningful. The one reminding us of the Creator, initiating and beginning. Pair. You see what's happening in there. There is a pair held by it looks like a masculine figure with some light horns coming out of his head above his eyebrows, like, you know, up where his hairline starts, and he's sitting a little, leaning back a little, not a lot, cross-legged underneath the pear tree, and this light is emanating from him. And so let's see what the pair has to share about how to transform the obstacle that you face into a building block, Capricorn. Oh, 3 plus 1 adds up to a 4. Solid and grounded, like the 4 legs of the chair on the floor. 4. And that 4 helps us when others are pulling on us energetically, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Especially relevant for adoptees. We're in different ways, from the birth families to the adoptive families. There's been a pull of our energy, a draw of our energy. So this number 4 helps us, protect us in those situations. That's so funny. They're like, not today. We're going to stay down here. That was the selenite and the lepidolite. So 31, pair. Let's see what the pair has to say. And I'll appreciate any pair stories you want to share in the comments. So the pair, here we go. The fruits of the wild pear are small, tart, and very dry. But as early as the 2nd millennium BC, different varieties of pear were being cultivated in Persia, the Caucasus, and southern Russia, and later they were cultivated by the ancient Greeks too. Around 600 BC, Homer describes a garden full of fragrant pears. The sharp taste and thorns, the pear belongs to the rose family, were bred out of the pear, and the tree that we know and treasure today developed and evolved further with its sensual sweetness and sweet sensuality. Pears are also healthy, having a generally cleansing and diuretic effect on the body, reducing both fever and blood pressure. To a large extent, the angel of the pear represents the Venus principle and its positive aspects in particular. It provides a sense of proportion, harmony, and balance, aesthetic, art, and quote-unquote good taste. It is a good omen for partnerships and relationships in general, since its qualities enhance understanding, empathy, tenderness, eroticism, coming together, and unity, as well as constancy, beauty, and delight. Spiritually, pear connects us with forgiveness. The danger that goes hand in hand with the energy of Venus, however, is that we want more. It's never enough. We try to cling to moments that have passed, attempting to prolong the pleasure to the end by both pure and impure means. In this way, sweetness corrupts, becoming excess. So the angel of pear also has a test for us. We must recognize that it's not just about superficial pleasure, but rather about giving ourselves and others lasting joy. Seductive beauty and sensuousness can sometimes beguile us utterly, but must not be allowed to undermine us entirely. Otherwise, our fate will be that of the wanton crew of Odysseus, who were all turned into pigs by Circe because they pursued her female servants. Remember that a tree enjoys the kiss of sunlight and the touch of the wind and yet remains firmly rooted in the ground. Enjoy yourself without holding back. Forget your ego in pleasure, but never lose sense of yourself. Without the sweet blessings of the pear angel, life is dry and lonely, and our despairing search for happiness brings only excess, coarseness, and tastelessness. And the Pear Oracle offers us a poem. Do what feels right. Trust your instincts. Find the beauty in everything, the perfect measure, the meeting. Enjoy the open-hearted touch and the sweetness of given fruit, but do not cling on to anything. Thank you so much, Pear Oracle, and what a beautiful affirmation. I was just recalling as I was reading this that for orphan and adoptees, sometimes it's challenging to understand how to do what's right because we've been taught that what is right is one thing, but perhaps it's really not so much. And what I mean when I say that, perhaps you've heard me say before, or other adoption activists say before, that, or maybe you've heard people say adoption's for the best. Pardon me. But then I counter now that it's not the best, it's just for the best, it's just different. Pardon me. And so when you're raised thinking that this adoption is right, it's for the best, but then you realize as an adolescent or an adult, wow, no, it really wasn't for the best, it was just different, and there's all these layers to deal with. However that resonates for you. Learning to understand what feels right for you, it's a whole exercise, you know. It's one thing to say, like, follow your heart, but like, what is that if you've been taught to follow other people's heart before yours, which happens in the case of adoption so often, and other cases as well. I think this is in part why so many people resonate with adoption or orphans, like, and we see media like Orphan Annie, right? Or, right? Please forgive me, the origins of that Orphan Annie. I can't supply you right now. So that pear is reminding us to play with that. Play with what feels right to you, and then add that to your deck of cards if it does. If it feels right to you, add it to your deck of cards, and then you can turn to those things to help you play through the challenging times, or to help you build your dreams, or you fill in the blank. Is one way that you can keep playing your cards and turn these obstacles into building blocks. I hope this has helped you in some way along your healing path. Capricorn, thank you so much for helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic. Until next time, ciao for now. We love you all.